Hello everyone, what's going on? It's DP Aviation here. As I mentioned in one of my previous videos that I would be starting a new program from the book, the aircraft book, the definitive visual history, and cover its topics in videos to make you guys know about the aviation's history and the making. And I'm super excited to start this program and I hope you all enjoy it as well. So welcome to the first episode of the aircraft book. Today we are going to learn about the magic of flight, which in short is known as the idea of flight, and the extraordinary freedom it bestows is as old as the human imagination itself. The desire to take the air was there from the start. Anyone who climbed a hill had an idea of the vista that might unfold the wonders they might see. If only they were able to emulate the birds. The Montgolfier brothers launched the gentle art of ballooning in magnificent style in 1783, and Sir George Cayley sent the world's first, albeit reluctant, glider pilot off for a one-off swoop across the Yorkshire Valley in 1853. However, for technological advancements of the Industrial Revolution by the 19th century, the dream of sustained controllable flight remained unfulfilled. The appearance of the petrol engine suggested that the goal was within grasp, but the unsolved problem of control or lack of it was taking its toll. The courageous German pioneer Otto Lilienthal was killed when his glider stalled and crashed, an unfortunate demonstration of the limitations of the pilot attempting to steer an aircraft by shifting his body weight. Sacrifices, the dying man said to his brother, have to be made. It was the improbable genius of brothers Orville and Wilbur Wright, cycle makers from Dayton, Ohio, USA, that finally unlocked the door. Understanding that it was the essential to master control, they combined the idea of twisting an aircraft's wing in order to roll it with an invention of their own, an interconnected rudder that prevented the aircraft from skidding into turns. Over the course for 3 years of spare time research, the Wright brothers not only built one of the world's first wind tunnels and tested hundreds of aerofoil sections, but also established reliable lift and drag data for the design of their powered machine. Finding that the science of propeller design was virtually non-existent, they came up with the theories and made propellers that were as efficient as those on light aircraft today. In this way, the Wright brothers came to make the world's first sustained and controlled heavier than air flight on 17th December 1903, inventing the aeroplane and giving the US an early lead in aviation. Word was slow to spread at worst, but sufficient detail of the Wright brothers' achievement and critically their methods spread around the globe and affected progress elsewhere. Further inspired Wilbur Wright's masterful 1908 flight demonstration at Le Mans, the French surged ahead. By 1912, the airspeed record had been raised from more than 100 m per hour, which is also known as 160 km per hour, by the intrepid Julius Vendrines, flying a rotary engine Depredation monoplane that was far in advance of anything the US could then produce. Once the genie was out of the bottle, progress astonishing as the page that follow will reveal. By the end of World War I, Fokker had developed in Germany the combination of welded steel tube, fuselage and cantilever wings that we still use today in the 1920s and in the 1930s. The airliners emerged with the United States catching up and then overtaking Europe with all-metal retractable undercarriage monoplanes that would ensure its dominance until the 1990s. In the same era, racing record-breaking aircraft took speeds of more than 400 m per hour, which is 644 km per hour, crossed the Atlantic and took the world altitude record to nearly 60,000 feet above the ground, which is also 18,288 meters. In Britain, G. Havilland introduced the private aircraft in the form of the economical Gypsy Moth, and in the United States, William Piper made it affordable with the Immortal Cub. The helicopter emerged alongside with the first jet engines in the 1940s. and the airliner became a reality a decade later. The light airplane appeared in its modern form as the all-metal high-wing Cessna 170/172, and Piper followed suit in 1960 with the low-wing PA-28 Cherokee, designs so good that they're still in production today. Before moving forward in this video, I would like to share some golden words said by one of the first makers of the aviation. That was one of the Wright brothers, Orville Wright, who said, "The exhilaration of flight is too keen, the pleasure too great for it to be neglected as a sport." Not every advance has been made for the best. Military aircraft, once stuttering things with shimmering propellers that weaved over battlefields and gadflies, were made into ever more effective killing machines during the two world wars, culminating in the B-29 bombers that were used to drop the atomic bombs on Japan. The drive for military superiority produced the aircraft that flew much faster than the speed of sound, and the same imperative has given us the stealth bomber and unmanned aircraft that, operating from homeland bases, are used to monitor and attack assumed enemies thousands of miles away. Today, there are more ways to fly, more ways to travel, and more ways to let your imagination take wing than ever before. We travel routinely to the farthest corner of the globe by business jets and airliners in places that once no one had access by air. Helicopters can land, and ventures and private pilots can become airborne in anything from ultralights or to twin-engine, very light engines with a vast range, home-built, classic, and light sport aircraft in between. If you want to experience the joy of piloting open cockpit biplanes, they are there for flying. If you relish the sport of riding invisible currents and staying aloft without engine power, there are sailplanes that can race over hundreds of miles in a day if you can afford to explore the world. There are high-flying single-engine turboprops that will carry you non-stop from Northern Europe, North Africa, or halfway across North America without even refueling. All these aircraft require power to operate, and we know that the world's oil resources are over diminishing. However, the great human power of the invention that gave us the aircraft in all its form is now being harnessed to produce super light structures and alternative energy power units. Certain bets, I believe, for keeping alive the magic and adventure of flight for generations to come. Thank you all for watching the video and the first episode of the aircraft book, and I hope you all are well informed. Kindly overlook some of my mistakes if I did in this video, as it was the first episode, so some mistakes and few errors could be expected, and I expect you all to overlook them, and I'll try to make things even better by the next episode. Hope you all enjoy. Please like, comment your advices, and stay tuned for the upcoming videos. Goodbye till we meet again.